Dear students, welcome you to session 5 video of the chapter Overheads, Cost and Management Accounting, second, 4th semester BCom of Mangalore University. Session 5 is about the preparation of primary distribution summary. The problem is given here. M Limited has 3 production department A, B, C and 2 service department X and Y. The overheads incurred for the period are rent and rates 5,000, labor welfare 5,000, indirect wages 1,500, depreciation of machinery 10,000, insurance 5,000, repairs to machinery 10,000, lighting 600, power 1,500, sundry expenses 10,000, canteen expenses 15,000. The following details are also available. We have information about the area occupied, light points, direct wages, horsepower of machines and value of machines. Now, you are asked to prepare a primary distribution summary and apportion these overheads to the different departments, that is the production departments A, B, C and the service departments X and Y. So, what we will have to do is, first we will have to decide on what basis we are distributing or apportioning these overheads. Now we have rent and rates, it's rupees 5,000. Now when we look at this table, we can make out that we have information about area. So based on area occupied, we can distribute the rent and rates. The next aspect is labor welfare. Now we have information about the direct wages. If you have information about the number of workers or direct wages, anything can be used here. Now we have information about the direct wages. So labor welfare, the information of direct wages will be used in order to apportion the labor welfare expenses. Now indirect wages, what is the basis for apportioning indirect wages? So when you look at the table given here, the additional information, we can make out that using direct wages we can apportion the indirect wages. Next information is the depreciation of machinery. Depreciation of machinery is based on the value of machinery, which is given here, the value of machinery. Insurance is relating to the assets. It may be either the insurance of the machine or it may be insurance of the stock. If you have the information about the value of stock, then it can be taken as insurance of the stock. Now here we can look at the table and see that we do not have any information about the insurance or the value of the stock. So we will take value of machinery for apportioning the expenses of insurance. Next we have the repairs to machinery. Again it is related to the machinery. Value of machinery will be taken as the basis for distributing the repairs to machinery to different departments. Now the next aspect is lighting. Lighting rupees 600. So lighting, the basis for distribution of lighting is the light points. If the information is not available regarding the light points, then we can take up area occupied. So in this case, the information is available that light points. So we will take this ratio 20, 30, 40, 20, 10, which can be further simplified as 2:3:4:2:1. The next aspect is power. Power is usually based on the horsepower or the kilowatt hour. So you have this horsepower of the machines, which is given here 60, 30, 50 and 10, and for the last department it's not there. So power, it will be apportioned based on the horsepower of the machine. Next we have the sundry expenses or the general expenses, which is based on the direct wages. So sundry expenses, they will be apportioned based on the direct wages. Then we have the canteen expenses. So canteen expenses, labor welfare and all these items will be apportioned based on the direct wages. So here we have direct wages 3,000, 2,000, 3,000, 1,500 and 500. Now when to begin with, what has to be done is, as I have told you, there are production departments as well as the service departments. The service departments do not produce anything. They provide services to the production departments. So the service departments do not incur any direct materials or direct wages. So whenever direct wages or direct materials are given, even though we have given it as direct wages, for the service departments these are overheads only. So what has to be done is, first we need to consider these direct items only for the service departments. So in this case we have direct wages. Now so direct wages for service department X it is 1500, and for service department Y it is 500. So what we are going to do now is prepare a primary distribution summary. The columns: overheads, basis of apportionment, total, A, B, C, that these three production departments, and two service department X and Y. To begin with, we start with the direct wages, because direct wages, even though it's direct wages, for the service department these are overheads. So direct wages, the basis is actual. Now we are not recording it for A, B or C department, and we are recording it only for the service department 1500 and 500, and the total of that is rupees 2000. So direct wages, the basis of apportionment is actual, and it is only for the service department 1500 and 500. Now we'll go to the other overheads which are given. So the next one is the rent and rates. So rent and rates is based on the area occupied. So the ratio is 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 4,000 and 1,000. So it will be 4:5:6:4:1. So the ratio of apportionment of rent and rates is 4:5:6:4:1. The total amount of rent and rates are rupees 5,000, which will be recorded in the total column. Now this 5,000 rupees has to be distributed among the three production departments and the two service departments. So 5,000 rupees should be distributed on the ratio 4:5:6:4:1. So how this can be done? First we will have to add this 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 4 plus 1, which is equal to 20. Now based on that, now we will be distributing rupees 5,000 to different departments, that is A, B, C and service department X and Y. So the first one, A, 5,000 rupees multiplied with 4 divided by 20, the total. So 5,000 into 4 by 20, that is 1,000. Next one is 5,000 into 5 by 20, that is 1,250. Next one is 5,000 into 6 by 20, that is 1,500. Next one is 5,000 into 4 by 20, that is rupees 1,000. And the last one is 5,000 into 1 by 20, which is for the Y department rupees 250. So first we have found out the basis. Next we have found out the ratio. So in this case the ratio is 4:5:6:4:1. Then we found out the total of the ratios. Then using that we have divided the overhead expenses to the various departments. The next one is labor welfare. Labor welfare is 5,000. Labor welfare will be divided among the various departments based on the direct wages. So labor welfare, then the basis of apportionment is direct wages. So we can see here direct wages, it is 3,000, 2,000, 3,000, 1,550. Now which can be simplified. We can simplify it further. The 30, 20, 30, 15, 5, which can further be simplified by dividing it by 5. That is 6:4:6:3:1. So we have divided all these items by 5. We get the ratio as 6:4:6:3:1. Now what we have to do is we have to find the total of the ratio 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 3 plus 1, which is equal to 20. Now the first one is 5,000 into 6 divided by 20, that is 1,500. The next one is 5,000 into 4 divided by 20, that is 1,000. The next one is 5,000 into 6 divided by 20, 1,500. The next one is 5,000 into 3 divided by 20, that is 750. And again 5,000 into 1 by 20, that is 250. The next item is the indirect wages. Indirect wages will be apportioned on the basis of direct wages. So now we know the ratio. Ratio is 6:4:6:3:1. So on that basis, we are going to distribute 1500 to different departments. So for A it will be 450, for B it will be 300, and for the next one it is 450, and for X department it is 225, and for Y department it is rupees 75. The next item is depreciation of machinery. Depreciation of machinery is based on the value of machinery. Now, how do we find the ratio? So here you can see 60,000, 80,000, 1 lakh, 5,000 and 5,000. Now this can be simplified. How can we simplify it? 60, 80, 100, 5, 5. It can be further simplified by dividing it by 5, dividing all these items by 5. So we get it as 12:16:20:1:1. 12:16:20:1:1. So first what we'll have to do? First we'll have to see the amount. It is 60,000, 80,000, 1 lakh, 5,000 and 5,000. We can simplify the ratio by writing it like this: 60, 80, 100 and 5 and 5. And again we can simplify it by dividing it by 5. 16:20:1:1. So 10,000 rupees will be apportioned among the different departments like this. For A department 2,400, B 3,200, C department 4,000, X department 200 and Y department 200. Similarly, insurance is based on the value of machinery. And now the value of machinery ratio, we know it is 12:16:20:1:1. So 5,000 rupees will be distributed among the different departments. The next one is repairs to machinery, 10,000 rupees. It's again based on the value of machinery. The same ratio will be used: 12:16:20:1:1. The next item is lighting, that is 600. Lighting is based on the light points. So here we can see light points 20, 30, 40, 20 and 10. And now we can the ratio can be simplified: 2:3:4:2:1. So the light points, the ratio is 2:3:4:2:1. So 600 rupees will be distributed to the different departments as department A 100, department B 150, department C 200, department X 100 and department Y 50 rupees. The next item is power rupees 1,500. The power expenses will be distributed on the basis of the horsepower of the machine. So we can see here the ratio 60, 30, 50 and 10, which can be simplified, divided by 10. 6:3:5:1. 6:3:5:1. So the horsepower of machine. And for the last department, that is X, we do not have information. So it's only for the first 4 departments, 3 production departments and 1 service department. So horsepower of machines 1,500 will be distributed like 600, 300, 500 and 100. The next item is sundry expenses, rupees 10,000. Sundry expenses will be distributed on the basis of direct wages. We have this ratio. We have already found out the ratio for direct wages. It is 6:4:6:3:1. So the direct wages ratio is 6:4:6:3:1. So 10,000 will be divided among the different departments based on that ratio. So for A department 3,000, B it is 2,000, and for C department it is 3,000, for X it is 1,500 and for Y it is 500. The next item and the last item is the canteen expenses. So canteen expenses is based on the direct wages. The same ratio which you already found out, that is 6:4:6:3:1. So 15,000 will be divided among the different departments this way. For A department 4,500, for B it is 3,000, for C department it is 4,500, X department 2,250 and Y department 750. So now we have apportioned the different overhead expenses to all the departments based on the basis of apportionment given. Now the last step is finding out the total of all the departments as well as the total column. Now we found out the total of department A 17,150, department B 16,000, department C 21,650, department X 7,925 and department Y 2,875. So the primary distribution summary is ready now. So first step is we find out the basis of apportionment, and then we find out the ratio of apportionment, and if direct wages or direct materials are there, we actually allocate it to the service departments, because they do not have any direct items. Even though it's direct, it is overheads for indirect items for the service department. Then based on the basis of apportionment, all the overheads will be apportioned. So this is how a primary distribution summary has to be prepared. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Thank you.